Okay, hello guys, and welcome to this new video by me, VENGEUR, and today I'm gonna be starting a lesson on every single map of the duels map to talk about kinda everything that goes around and comes in mind when you're playing a duel at any level. I'm gonna explain, of course, from my point of view, so from my experience I'm gonna try and give you every information I have, and so you can prevail on your enemy and yeah, edge him out. Okay, so let's start talking about the map itself. So AWOKEN is medium map, I will say. It's not too small, it's not too big, either too small, so it's a medium, I will say. There are 3 different floors. There is this floor, this, and this one. So there is a lot of verticality going on, and there are 2 major items, of course. There is the heavy armor and there is the mega health, and 3 green armors. This one there, this one on this place, which we're gonna call T for today, and this one. Okay, so you have 2 major items, 3 armors, and that's it. There is every single weapon, so it's not like maps like Corrupted where you're missing like the railgun. There is the rocket, nail gun. Then we're gonna go over to Tribolt, LG. Then we drop down, machine gun. Then we keep going, shotgun, and railgun. Right. So, let's start to talk. I think I will start to talk about starting spawns. I think it's the best way to start, which is the initial point of a duel, which is the first thing you need to learn. So, after the starting spawn, you're gonna learn what rotation to take. So we're gonna start from this. This is one of the most common spawns on this game when you start a duel. It's the one next to the quad, to the rail, which gave you access to the heavy, and to the mega if you want to. So, let's say. So there are 2 situations that comes in your mind when you're starting with these spawns, which is taking rail and dropping for heavy, or taking rail and going for mega. But one thing to know about this spawn is that every time the enemy is gonna spawn around this area, so there is also the enemy going for mega, alright? So the enemy can go for mega or can go for LG. So you are both of you are in kinda weird situation, cause you're starting from there and you can both take mega or heavy, depends on your enemy, or you can go to heavy also, and the enemy can also try to go for heavy. So this is the 2 outcomes from this point of view, from this starting spawn. You start right there, you go for heavy, for rail, sorry. Okay, so at this point, there is a little trick that you can use. If the enemy is going for mega, you're gonna hear a jump or some noise from this side. If you don't, then it's most likely that the enemy went for LG and then for rocket. Alright, so if you don't hear anything, I will suggest you to go for mega. And why you telling me why would you go for mega if the enemy has no item and you're gonna take heavy faster than him? Cause he's gonna have LG and rocket. So with rail, the only situation that can save you is hitting 3 rails in a row while he has rocket and LG. So I mean, you can have an item, but he has weapons, and in the starting part of the game, I think it's better to have good weapons. So, what I will suggest you actually to take rail and jump for the mega, alright? Then after you jump for mega, you can maybe drop down and look for an angle already, because he went all the way around. Or, if you can hear the pickup or a noise from the wall, you go for it and just drop down. Alright, so at this point, the enemy could be or there on the LG, or there by doing this, by taking Mega and going up there, or he could drop for nailgun, which is not something that happens a lot. So if you want to play it safe, you can go up there and take the rocket as fast as you can, or if you feel like the enemy is going for the LG, you can try an angle over there. In most cases you will end up with the heavy and rocket and rail, and the enemy will end up with Mega, 100, 500 and LG only. So you have rocket and rail, yes, only LG. Okay, so we saw this perspective, so let's talk about this perspective instead. What you will do if you are spawning there and you know that the enemy is gonna spawn on that side of the wall on a railgun. So I think the most common thing I usually do is this. I mean, it really depends on how do you feel inside the game. What you can do is, as you say, there are two options. You could go for Mega like this, and at this point, if he's doing what I just showed you, he's gonna hear you take the Mega, and you can go up there and take the LG. So this one, okay. Or you can do this. You take this, you take LG, you go there. So at this point, there are two scenarios. Or he didn't hear you pick up the Mega, so he's going for the Mega, so he's right there. Or he dropped for the heavy, and he will be close to be or here or here. At this point, it really depends on how fast is your strafe to get over to rocket. If he's downstairs there, if he's there or there, you have him trapped, because you have rocket, rocket, LG, LG. And if he drops down and wants to go for the jump pad, you can just pin him out of the map. So this is one of the most common things that happen in a early game. Always be careful if the player is a good aimer. It's always be careful and try to bait the shots out of him. So let's say from this point of view, as I said, if you go for Mega instead, it can happen that he goes for you, but it's not something that really happens, especially in low tier duels. Always go for the heavy, the enemy, so you're gonna have this. While instead, if you choose to go for the LG, you can catch him with two good weapons. Now I'm gonna talk about rocket jumps or tricks on this map. Really easy to do, and that can give you an advantage. We have the most common rocket jump, which is this one on the railgun. So if you are there, you can shoot and go upstairs, or you can also use the nail gun to go there too, which is less you lose less health, but it's always can be risky to do. Like, it's not always something you see, because if you manage to fail, you can lose 5 to 10 seconds. Then what you have is this one. With Nix, you can easily do this, but it just takes a little rocket jump like that. With Clutch, you can do it with the dash, but since we are Ranger, we have no other option. And with Ranger, rocket jumps are really worth to do so. Then, so I didn't know if you know about that, but you can break this part of the map. Yeah. Okay. Then, if you don't want to go all the way there, you can also do it with the nail gun. So if you are not using Ranger and you can't do this, but if you use nail gun, you can do it easily. Okay. Then we have, if you want to surprise your enemy, you have this. So it's really a small rocket jump that can boost you over there. If you're there, you can go up there like that. And one I like to do is this one sometimes. Sorry, not like that. So it does boost you over to HP bubble. And if you feel like you are in control and you want to have a bit of fun, there is this one. So let's say you kill the enemy, it's gonna spawn on the LG. If you want to get a fast shot, it's there, or you can also aim for the mag instead. Okay, so then there is this one for the P. Sorry, for the bubble there. Then this is a good one. So especially if you want to take LG without going there and risking your life for the enemy pinning you with LG. Hold, jump, and you're gonna take it like that. I don't know if you didn't know about that. Okay, you can also do it there. Yes. Then this one. You can jump over the thingy there and get over there. Really easy to do. And you can go up there. I don't know if you didn't know, but yes, you can do this. You can also do this. And go there. Good place for the eye totems. There. Then comes in my mind that you can do things like that also with the herb. Let's say enemy is gonna push heavy. You do this. And you are Omega, for example. It really depends on what champion you are playing. With Nyx, you can do things like this double jump. With Nyx, you can bait a lot of shots with the enemy just by double jumping on the walls. I'm just trying to do a tutorial on normal champions. So, a champion you all have. Champion with normal strafe jump, no CPMA or crouch sliding technique, so it should be easy for you to do so. And yeah, that's mainly it. For there aren't really so many things. You can also, I mean, you can actually do this if you want. It's not something I suggest you to do, but just you to know. Okay, now let's start to talk about not spawn kills. I want to wait a bit for that. I want to talk to you about angles, and what does it mean is when you have the edge over your enemy only by positioning, so when you can try to land a shot before the enemy actually is able to. So there are a lot of them. I'm gonna start with this side of the map, with this side, okay? So if you are on this side of the map, for example there, you have this angle. You have this angle on the TP. You have this angle on the TP there. If you just go a little bit on the left, you have this angle. And you have also angle on Elgan. Alright? Only by this area you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So this area is actually really good to hold for an item. The only problem with this area is that if he's fast enough to push these stairs, he's gonna have you catch there. So also always try to be careful about sound in game and if the enemy is making any noise. Okay. Alright, so instead, from downstairs there, you have this angle. You have this angle. You have this angle. If the enemy is going on the stairs. And, well, I mean, you have also this lower side, but, I mean, it's really hard with an enemy like that. But it's really a tricky situation this to be in, because the enemy can also, of course, see you, and it's really hard to dodge when you're, like, taking Mega. Then, now we have also, from this side, we have this again, this, we have this, so you can cover if the enemy is gonna pick rail. And now what comes to my mind, it's also what champion you are playing. Because, for example, let's say If you like to play Doom and you are able to play Doom in one of your matches, let me take a rail. Hold on 1 second. So if you play Doom, there are situations where you can have him there already. For example, this is one of the most common thing to do. There is also this one right there. This one is something people won't expect. This rail jump is really crazy, and it's not something people expect you to do for a rail angle, but I'm just pointing it out that it does exist, this angle. So let's go back to Ranger. Alright, so then let's move on this side of the map. You have this, and yes, that's it basically, unless something crazy happened there, but it's not really an angle. Then you have this from this side. Then, alright, if you go upstairs there, you have, of course, this one. Okay, so it's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Also downstairs there. That's another one. So let's move still. Oops, sorry. So let's move on. We have also vertical shots there that can land. Like this one. If the enemy is going for from this tunnel, you can land this. There you have one of the most common things, common shots. Is this one on the TP, or from this side. You can have this. This is one of my favorite. If the enemy is rushing for Mega, the LG range doesn't catch you, and you can hold back like behind the wall. So this one is really cool. You have also this. Then, if you know that the enemy is on heavy, you can have also this. This. You can shot there. So it's just all about getting some creativity out of your gameplay. Let's move around here. You have this. Of course, I'm just using rail, but in some occasion you can also use rocket. Like there, rocket. There, rocket, and so on. This one is also one common spot to be in. Like if the enemy knows you are waiting for him, like it's really common to go over there and you just hit a rail. And then, as you saw from that perspective, you also have an angle from there. You have this on the jump pad. This there, of course, too. There. And we are back there, so that was it. It's not that much, actually. If you learn, it's like, it should be around 25 or something like that. It's not that huge of a learning curve. It's just understanding when to do this and this. Okay. So. Okay, so now I'm gonna, of course, all I'm saying, take it as a tutorial, cause especially at the level I am, so in the Pro League, every single player has to be studied in order to understand their moves. It's not easy to do, cause every single one has different like gameplay style and things they do around the map. But I'm gonna try to give you a general information to all the people playing Quake and Duel at the moment. And I'm gonna talk about some scenarios that can happen when you are fighting for Mega or... sorry, for Heavy or Mega, okay. So, you drop for Heavy, alright? What should you expect? 1. This position of the enemy. This one. Or also this one. This is the main three things to learn. If you're going for heavy, like you are there, if you're going to heavy, this angle and this angle are the most common thing, plus this one too. So let's say you wanna go for heavy. There is this one, and this one to take care of. So what I try to do sometimes is also just spamming at rockets or trying to hear if the enemy is moving left. Because remember, there is too much, not too much noise going on. It can be dangerous. The enemy is just trying to sneak around you. So this one. Or this. This one is the most difficult to deal with. You need to really spam LG in order for the enemy to actually try to not fight. Because he has this angle on you. It's really hard. From this point of view, he can also do this. But as long as he misses a rail, you can just advance and take the heavy. And from this, it's not easy. This is probably the worst position to be in. As is the enemy who is defending heavy. Because if you just hit a rocket there, the enemy is gonna do boom. Yep, and go back. So it's a lot of damage you are doing. This is for heavy. If you are coming this way. If you are coming on heavy this way, for example. Let's say you're coming for heavy from mega, right? You go for heavy. Where the enemy could be? There. And he could be there. And he could be already there. So this one is not so used. This one is super used. Like the enemy waiting for you on rail there. And this one is also not common. I mean, this is the situation that was created before, that you was the guy going there and your enemy was the guy holding there. In this situation, as I said, it's really dangerous, but if you manage to land a good rocket, you can drop for heavy and just go with LG straight down. Yeah, this was for the heavy. Alright. So remember, from this point of view, 1, 2, can be only also this and this. If you are going this way, it's this one, and this one. And if you're coming this way, is this one, and this one. Alright? So let's say now about Mega. Okay. We're gonna approach Mega from... It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can approach Mega from 6 different ways. I'm gonna start from this one. You are there. What to take care of? Could be there. He could be there. And there. Or also there waiting for you after you took heavy. Okay? So this is the things to take care of. Alright? Because this space is so open. There is a lot of space for a rail angle over there. It's there. Can be there. You can also be waiting there, so you can go out with LG. Or if he's waiting there, also tribals can be a good option. Okay. Let's say the other way around. If you're coming from here, this is really tricky. Enemy could be literally also there. He could be there. So careful. There, there, up there, up there. You could be hiding there. You could also be waiting from this side. You have a rail angle over there, so not so common, but can happen. And one of the most classic, this one. That enemy is aiming for you from the nail gun. Okay, so now we did this one and this one. Let's say if you're going from there for the Mega, which is not something I really suggest to do. If you're going from there, it will be up there. It could be there. It could be there. It could be there. And it could be also there. It could be also Mega, but like if you heard him on, I don't know, heavy. Like, you are there, you spam. Heavy is being taken. You'll know it's coming from here. So, can be a really easy angle to do. To get for the enemy. So always take what I'm saying, not specifically, but just generally talking. If something can happen to anyone in any situation, Alright, so okay, so this one is for this place. Then you also have this. Okay, we have 1 minute, so I'm gonna try to be quick for this, then restart the map. We have this one. If you are there, enemy could be there, he could be waiting there, enemy could be waiting there. Alright, so always the same, but just in a different way. This, 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 okay. Then also this if you jump for the mega. If you're coming from the stairs, it's the same thing. It can be there, he can be there, and he can be there, okay? Yeah, so. And if you're going from the heavy to the mega like this, he could be there, he could be up there, but you could hear him most likely. And he could be also around there. Okay, this part of the video is probably the one that people have been waiting for the most. We're gonna start talking about spawn kills and how to force spawns, alright? So, how to force spawn in Quake. Okay, so the main thing to understand in your head is that the spawn depends on your position on the map and not on where the enemy died. So if the enemy died there, doesn't matter, because if the enemy died there and you're there, this is the position where you are forcing the spawn, so that one doesn't matter at all, okay? So once you know this, you need to know that the closest you are to an area, the most far away the spawn is gonna, like, the closest you are to a certain area, like there and close to rocket and rail, you are denying rocket spawn, you are denying heavy spawn, of course, you are denying also rail spawn and close to the rail. So let's say like you are owning this part of the map and the enemy can't spawn there, okay? That's how we're gonna say it. What happens is, though, this is one of the most common spawns. If you are there, what you are denying is rocket. You are denying rocket spawn, right? Yes, you are, because you are too close there. You are denying heavy rocket because you are too close. You are denying rail. You are denying mega. What happens is enemy spawning on that side of the wall, right there. This is the enemy spawn when you're standing there, okay? So what can you do from this? You say, okay, so who cares, like, he's gonna spawn there, I can't do damage on him, okay. This is not the point of spawn killing. Even if you don't get a kill or damage after the spawn you're forcing, you know in your head that the enemy is on that side of the map, and you don't need to worry about, like, having him behind or somewhere else. So if he's there, easiest thing in the world, there are only two ways he can go. He goes for LG, or he goes for Mega. Like, there is nowhere he can go more than that, okay? So this is why it's really important to understand where is the enemy gonna spawn. So it's about studying every single little part of the map, okay? So this one is so easy, this one. Or this one. It's gonna take this both ways. Things come a bit more complicated if you're standing there, for example. If you're standing there, the enemy could spawn there, or there. Alright? But already, if you take 2 steps like that, if you already are there, the enemy is gonna spawn or in heavy up there, or on this tunnel. So it's already changing. Okay? Just by, look. There, and then you have this. It's already changing the spawn, okay? If you are there, for example, the guy won't spawn there, he won't spawn on LG, he won't spawn on heavy, he's gonna spawn on that tunnel there, or he's gonna spawn upstairs there. So on this side of the map, okay? So probably the easiest one nowadays, cause first it was like that, you could like do something like this, right? I remember in QUAKE, you could shoot like that. Yes? Okay. Now it's not as easy because the enemy has still some cover, but The easiest one is probably to do, like direct spawn kill is probably this one. And railgun, okay? Let's say you are on Mega and you kill him on Mega. What is gonna happen? Easy. This is gonna spawn or there on that tunnel. Sorry, I am drunk. There. Or it spawns on Heavy, okay? So, you already know what's gonna happen. If you are standing there, for example, there, he can spawn on tunnel, he can spawn on LG, and I think he can also spawn on close to rocket. So, cause you're only denying Mega, this part of the Mega, the rail and this part of the Heavy. You're not denying rocket anymore, okay? So this is probably the most powerful one, cause you are denying so many different things, just cause all the map behind you is not accessible to the enemy anymore. So you're just gonna worry about that. Okay. Alright, so simple, yet so effective to understand things like that. Cause let's say you are low, for example. Wait. Okay, let's say you're low, for example, and you are low, you kill the enemy there. Like, you get a kill. What you really don't want to do is let him spawn on Mega or on Rail. For example, if you kill him there. So easy, you do like this, and he's gonna spawn on LG, and you have access to this. You have access to this, to this, to this. Instead, if you kill him there and you're low, and you let him spawn there, he has all the map, and you need to go back to LG, and he's gonna have both items, because Heavy and Mega are so close to each other, right? So, what I'm trying to say to you is, spawn kill, it's okay, but what is really important about forcing spawn is how to play around the spawn of your enemy and understanding the things he's gonna do next, okay? It's a lot of practice going on. It's not something you can learn just in one video. You need to, all these things I'm saying to you have to be automatically in your head. Like, you need to do things as fast as you can. You can't like think, oh, I just killed him there, so now yes, I need to drop, because you already spawned, you already took Mega, and you're gonna die, okay? So it's about practicing and making the best out of it. Alright, so I think I said every single one on this part of the on this map, I would say. Yeah, like if you're there, it's gonna spawn on Heavy, of course, or Rail. If you're there, he's gonna spawn on Tunnel or Heavy. If you're there, he's gonna spawn on Tunnel and Heavy again. It's all about where you are on the map and how much you are denying of the opponent. As I said, this part of the map, easy. You're denying everything. Only this one is the thing you are not denying, okay? After we talk about spawn and forcing spawn, I'm gonna talk about something else, which is totems, how to deny certain things to happen. For example, let's say this one. This one is, I saw it from Race's stream. Vegetation, that's how you call it in English, right? Blocks your shots. Crazy, right? So let's say you are fighting, he's dropping down, he's doing this jump. That's not gonna hit. So just for you to know, that can be a huge pain in the ass, to be honest. Okay, so this is one. That one was the most common one. I haven't experienced anything yet, but for you to know, it's better always to know, you know? Like, better to know than not to know, okay? There, totems placement.
Quad damage.
Okay? Careful about the totems. Easy totems placement. Always some totems there. Totems there. Totems there. Totems can be there. 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 Right? Also what base did to me in AWOKEN on the tree. Yeah, that's mainly it. remember that you can walk on this thing. And like that you're not gonna get telefragged, for example. Can be a sneaky place. You can jump over there. You really wish to. Be careful though. Yeah, that's mainly it. I think for this map. This one, you can use it. Like, if you want to jump. I don't think you can do it actually that. Wait, hold on. Oh, you can do this. Yes, I remember right. With Doom it's much easier to do these things, but I'm suspecting no one, like not everyone is playing Doom, so just for you to know, it's things that can come in helpful when you're playing a duel, you know, things to know like that. For totems, remember that you can shoot through the teleporter, or like this. You can also throw orbs or other things. You can't throw turret or totems though. Just for your knowledge. That's mainly it. This place is accessible. If you fell off, you're gonna die, so be careful. Like when you're jumping, can happen. That's mainly it for little things on the map to know about.
Protection spawn.
To finish this video, I'm gonna give you my personal top 5 of champions to play on this map. Okay. Let's say already that medium champions I think are the best. The best champion on this map, in my opinion, is Doom. And why is Doom? I'm gonna show you quickly why is Doom the best champion on this map. There are so many things you can do with Doom just by movement. You can cut map in half. You can do things like you will do with Nailgun. You can do like that so easily. You can do this jump. You can do this jump. You can just jump over and over. You don't even need to touch the stairs there. You can double jump like that. You can double jump, and plus Doom is such a silent champion. You can catch off your enemy off guard so many times, and this movement really helps a lot. Okay, so after this I will say that champions like Galina, Sorlag, Ranger, Eisen, and I'll put Nyx too as a light champion. So I will say Doom, Galina, Sorlag, Ranger, Nyx, Eisen, and I will also let's say it's a top 7. I think of the best champion. Let's put also Visor, because can be helpful. I mean, you kind of always know where the enemy is, but it's good to know that Visor can be helpful. I mean, he has piercing sight, so it can be helpful in any situation if you can use it properly. Okay. So yeah, for this video was all. If you have any question, comment down below. If you like the content, I hope you do, because it's not something people do, especially pro players. It's not something like that really show interest in doing. But since I see a lot of people asking for basic things like that, and since I have the opportunity to play toward the best and yeah, competing and all the experience I have, I think it can be useful for you guys to actually learn from these videos. Can be also good for me to teach. So I'm gonna see if I am a good teacher or not. But if you like the comment, subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram for updates about Quake or anything else going on. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. Thank you, and bye bye.